Hey guys, Lexi here. I was recording some videos this morning for my website, some videos about the sessions that I'll be offering. And it just popped into my head that I've been wanting to make a video about healing and what that means and what it means to me specifically. I hear a lot in some other groups on social media. A lot of people really believe that there's like one right method to heal, and healing means that your body meets this expectation of working perfectly, and that once you heal your life and heal your body, you're never going to have any problems again, and everything is good, and life is just glorious all the time. And I'm here to kind of say that's a wonderful idea and fantasy, and I know why you would want to prevent anything bad from ever happening again, but it's not realistic. So for me, healing meant that I felt really good in my life. I feel really good with where I am, with what I'm doing, with who I am, the work I do, how I show up in the world. I feel really aligned with that, and I consider myself healed. Now, am I free of symptoms? Not 100%, no. The disease, the irritable bowel disease I had ulcerative colitis, has gone into remission. It has healed. I no longer have actual diagnosable inflammation disease. I do still have some imbalances within my digestive tract that are constantly getting better. You know, they come and go, but they're getting better all the time. But I'm not 100% symptom free. I do still have to wear adult diapers when I drive the kids to school in the morning because I'll be in traffic and might not make it to a bathroom. But what that means to me is nothing. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore to have the symptoms. I took the meaning off of it. That was where a lot of my suffering was coming from with disease, was I was putting meaning on things. And like every time I would have a bathroom accident, in my mind, 4 years ago, it meant that I had failed. It meant that I was unworthy. It meant that I couldn't heal my body. I couldn't function normally, that I'm not a normal human being. I'm not lovable. I'm not likable. I'm not worth anything. I used to do that to myself. And it's crazy to think I used to do that. And I know there are a lot of people that still do. And that's totally okay. You are where you're at. I was there for 15 years. It wasn't till I was willing to change my story and to change my definition of what healing was and what healing is. And so for me now, being healed in my life means I'm doing the things I love. I'm listening to my intuition much more powerfully. I'm willing to feel all my emotions, my fear, my anger, my sadness. I still have all of that. It still comes up once in a while. I'm not there. I don't live there as a baseline anymore. I used to be, when that disease was active, I was more of an anxious person. I always, even if I thought I felt good, I still had this like little hum of anxiety behind the scenes that could be triggered at any time. It was always there. I was always just nervous and stressed. And so for me to have come so far in my life and to have let go of so much means that my baseline is now calm. It's calm. And I at one time thought that being healed and feeling good meant you'd be excited and happy and joyful all the time. And I realized that's just not normal. That's not the goal. Because if you were happy and excited all the time, you wouldn't have that contrast that would kind of bring you up and down so you could feel the highs and feel the lows, but get back to those highs. Like, I don't want to be joyous, excited, bubbly all the time. It's more of just a calm peace now, a peace with my life, peace with my body. Even though it doesn't always work the way that I would like it to, it's still okay. And I'm still thankful that my body is here and my emotions that come up are here to direct me and show me where I want to go, how to get back into my alignment when I get off a little bit. And so also healing, there's no one right way to heal. It's not like you change your mindset, you change your beliefs, you start doing your passions in life, and boom, you're healed, and that's the only way to heal. So that's not what I teach at all. I am much, much more about following your intuition and lining up what feels right to you, because you are the only one Not even the doctors know this, not even your parents, not your friends. You are the only one that knows what is right for your body at any one time. So even though I was doing the emotional work, even though I was working on my mindset, I was willing to look deeper, my intuition at the time when I was really, really sick and I was really scared that I was either going to lose my colon or die. I thought I was bleeding out all the time. I couldn't, absorb any nutrition. I was very, very ill. And I had 2 small kids at home. I, at that time, was really doing my best, not always trusting, not always sure, but doing my best to follow my intuition. And even though I had been raised to be very skeptical of conventional medicine and medication and to really only pursue holistic alternative ways of healing, I had already gone the holistic route for 15 years. I found a lot of relief, but not lasting healing. And I was right up at that time where my intuition was screaming at me to get some medication. And I was terrified of the medication. I had tried it before and it didn't work. And I know now it was because my resistance and my fear of medication overrode the actual drugs and caused them not to work. And so I decided to just let back a little, take off some resistance, kind of ease up and be okay with the medication and allow it to help me. And it did. So I didn't change my mind and my beliefs and feel my emotions and boom, I healed. So I healed from what I consider being really bad to completely remissioned in 3 months. But there was a combination of things. And yes, I took medication. A lot of people actually are surprised to hear that because I'm very holistic and I'm a nutritionist. And I don't go run to the doctor's first thing. I really don't. It's more of a last resort or if it feels like I really need to. And I felt like I really need to. So I decided to put down the shame, put down the guilt, and decide I'm going to let this medication help me. So I took the medication. I did my inner work. And I also, did some dietary things. I explored, my relationship with food and what would nourish me and where, I had some conditioning with food too, some from childhood and some from being so sick and not being able to eat a lot of the foods I wanted to eat. Like vegetables used to cause me a ton of pain when I had irritable bowel disease, when it was active. So I worked on that aspect too. And it all goes together. And it's not like you get on the medication and that's it. You stay on it and that's the only thing you do forever. That might work for you. But for me, it was so much more about following my intuition. And sometimes I would take the medication and then there were some days where I just felt like, no, today is not the day to do this. And I would go back and forth. And I know the doctors advise against that. They want me to stay on medication the rest of my life. They're very afraid the disease is going to come back. But again, only I know my body. Only I know what's right for me. And I know healing is not linear. You don't have to stick to one program, one diet, one method of healing and stick to that hard and push your way through it, to get to the end result, the goal. I did that a lot. I did that a lot with holistic methods, even when it didn't feel good to me to be on these diets, even when it didn't feel good to me to be taking these supplements or doing these programs. I felt like that was the only way to heal and that I had to push myself and motivate myself to do it. And it never worked for me. I mean, I got some relief, but I didn't get lasting healing. And the big key is I wasn't following my intuition. I was following other people's advice. And it was very scary for me to start following my intuition more powerfully and really deciding that I do know what is best for me. And I do know what the next step is in every moment, even if it's just, sitting on the couch and taking a deep breath. I'm powerfully deciding to sit down and take this breath. If it's just getting up and going to the fridge and deciding in that moment what I want to eat, I am intuitively and powerfully deciding this is what I'm going to do. So I just want to bring that awareness that there's no shame for any way you heal, any way you want to go about, your health and your life and your journey. It's going to be different for everybody. I'm all about following your intuition, even if it's not what I would do, even if it's not what your parents would do, what your friends would do, what your coworkers would do. That's okay. That's okay. You got to do what's best for you. And everyone has opinions, but you don't have to put any meaning on them. You don't have to take them to heart. If it doesn't feel good to you, someone else's opinion, you can actually decide. You can actually choose to say, huh, interesting, I don't like that, so I'm just going to leave that over there and I'm going to go do my own thing. And I know it takes a while to get there, especially when we've been living our lives for so long being told we can't trust our gut, we can't trust our intuition, we can't trust our inner knowing. We have to trust logic and experts and be smart about things, and trust our teachers. It starts in school. You're told to trust your teachers and do the work and push through things and motivate to make sure that you'll be okay later in life. And there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee doing any one thing is going to help you. But I do truly believe that following your own intuition and speaking your own truth and, diving deep into your heart and discovering what your desires really are, and, what you've been suppressing and pushing away just to fit into the rest of society, discovering what's in there is going to be the most important piece and the key to having, true healing, the life you want. And, you can have a lot of things going on in your life that you don't like, but you don't have to suffer with them. Suffering really is a state of mind. And I say this even when you're in pain. I've been in extreme pain many, many times, to the point where I would pass out several times a day. I would, having irritable bowel disease, it would get so bad that every time I had to go to the restroom, I felt like I was going to pass out. It was so painful. I would see white. And it took me a while to learn, like, okay, I can have these episodes and actually not suffer. They're all temporary. It's not going to happen forever. And everything in life is okay. It's all okay. And so I wanted to share that. I just want people to kind of step out of having to do things the right way or the one way or a certain way, and just, follow your own intuition. It's going to lead you in places you probably never discovered. So hope you guys are having a great day. Talk to you later.